Did you know that in Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games on the Nintendo Switch, when using Sonic in any event that requires him to be in the water, he will wear a life jacket, and is the only character to do so? This is because Sonic famously cannot swim. Hello and welcome to Hidden Video Game Details. Make sure to leave your suggestions in the comments down below, and if you're feeling extra kind, please consider clicking subscribe so I can tell my mum that we hit 900,000 subscribers. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's begin today's video with Alan Wake 2. Now, I loved the original Alan Wake, but for some reason, I haven't really spent a lot of time with its sequel. It's weird, it's like I'm so excited for a game to release that when it finally does, I kind of want to make it last as long as possible, even if that means not playing it as much as I would like. Anyway, ignoring my strange behaviour, Alan Wake 2 is obviously a brilliant game, and it has a very funny detail that can be found early on. As you head to your first crime scene, a local officer will give you a brief rundown of what's been happening. After spilling the beans, the officer steps aside so that you can move on. However, if you hang around, this will happen.
Are they gone? These fucking out-of-towners? We can handle this ourselves if they just stay the hell out of it. All of them.
Shut up, Thornton. They can still hear you.
I'm just saying. You know I'm usually a calm person. Yoga 3 times a week. But these goddamn city folk always think they know everything. It gets on my fucking nerves.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
For fuck's sake.
If you happen to know of any other cool details or Easter eggs that are worth checking out in Alan Wake 2, please let me know in the comments down below. Up next is Fortnite, with some Christmas and New Year's themed details which I probably should have shared before the holidays. First up, if you land at Grand Glacier, there's a chance that you can find a chest lodged in a very uncomfortable place. Now, this next Fortnite detail could be seen during the game's Christmas celebrations. At the northernmost point of the map, it was possible to find Sergeant Winter, who was Fortnite's take on Father Christmas. When you landed near Sergeant Winter, he would ask if you'd be naughty or nice before giving you a present. Well, to see this next detail, we need to, retire Sergeant Winter once and for all. And if you successfully take him down, he will drop lumps of coal, which according to folklore was what he gave to naughty children. And let's face it, it doesn't get much naughtier than killing the man himself. The final Fortnite detail could be seen on New Year's Eve. If you played a game before the clock struck 12, this would happen. So regardless of what you were doing, the game would limit your ability to shoot and instead point your attention to the sky where a New Year's fireworks celebration would take place, which is really cool. Of course, after the fireworks are finished, it's straight back to business. Next up is a game that I've barely covered on this channel before. Halo 5 released at a time when I was considering giving up on YouTube. Real world work and real world problems were starting to stack up, and the distraction of producing YouTube videos definitely wasn't helping. Now obviously we're still here 9 years later, but it was a real sliding doors moment. I mean, who knows where I'd be now if I did just stop. Anyway, Halo 5 does have some really cool things to find, and to fans of the series, it will be no surprise that the grunts are front and centre of a couple of the discoveries. First up, in Mission 7, you can find this guy.
La-da-dee-do-do, la-da-da-da, na-da-dee. La-da-dee-do-do, la-da-da-da, na-da-dee.
So you can find a grunt that, despite not having the best voice you've ever heard, definitely gets points for his enthusiasm. Well, if you're not a fan of the grunt's great singing, you can do this. The next grunt-related detail can be found in the Guardian's mission. During this mission, you will come to an area where several of the Covenant are being kept as prisoners. Now, it's really cool exploring this room. But there is one set of captives that seem more bothered than the rest.
Humans, get me out! Let me get out! I'll kill you! I want to get out! Let me out!
So for some reason, these grunts seem much more determined to escape than their allies. Well, if you look closely, we might understand why. The grunt at the back of the cell, who really doesn't seem to be that bothered, will every now and again produce a green gas from its backside. Now, if you've ever been trapped in a car when someone has let one rip, I'm sure you can understand why these grunts are so determined to break free. The final Halo 5 detail can be found on several different multiplayer maps, and is a message that we should all live by. Next up is Celebrity Deathmatch. Now, if you've never seen Celebrity Deathmatch before, then you might be surprised with just how much the show got away with in the late 90s to early 2000s. No celebrity was safe from the show's over-the-top and often gruesome humour, and that's what made it such a success. Now, anything that was successful around that time was immediately made into a video game. That's just the way things were back then. And Celebrity Deathmatch was no different. Complete with a roster of quote-unquote stars, the Celebrity Deathmatch game boils down to a pretty basic brawler, with the first to drain their opponent's life meter and perform his or her special move, winning the bout. Now, a big part of the show were the commentators, who appeared in every episode to call the action. And of course, they are present in the game. I mean, they were so popular that you could prompt them to speak in-game whenever you like with the commentary button, where they would explain what you had highlighted at the time. Well, if you ask for their opinion on the options menu, several funny lines of dialogue can be heard.
Sure. Take time from actually playing to set this crap up, and we'll all wait for you.
Here at Celebrity Deathmatch, we're not happy until you're happy. Ah, the options screen. Can you smell that, son? That's the smell of stale jockstraps.
Gee whiz, what else can we get you? A cup of tea, a warm towel? Let's get it on already! I'm giving myself the option of taking a dump while you set this game up. Be right back. Look, Johnny, it's Mr. Anal.
Hey, Nick, is there a button to make you funnier?
Up next is the Eggcellent Super Mario RPG. Now, the first detail from the Tiny Plumber's latest outing may not be that impressive to some of you, but it got a laugh out of me. If you stand on one of these flowers for long enough, this will happen. So Mario will feel dizzy and fall to the floor. Something which I can definitely relate to, as I can't even ride the teacups without feeling sick. Next up, if you head inside the item shop and stand on the shelf, this will happen. I must admit, I do like it when games acknowledge your weird behaviour. This is something that High on Life did really well. The final Super Mario RPG can be found by entering a hidden code. If you go to the pause menu and enter down, up, left, right, LR, LR and B, Toad will appear to let you know that the code worked. Okay, time to find out what the code does. Well, Toad will check your stats and your experience before leveling with you that the code doesn't actually do anything. But if you ever want to hang out with Toad again, just re-enter the code. Right, let's end today's video with Vanquish. Vanquish is a third-person shooter developed by Platinum Games. That's the same team behind the likes of Nier Automata, Bayonetta, and Metal Gear Rising. In typical Platinum Games fashion, Vanquish prioritizes style over almost anything else. And for proof of that, you can stop mid-gunfight and do this.
Yeah.
If you go there, you should be able to flank the enemy from...
Yep, you can call a quick timeout and smoke a quick cig, which means if the enemies don't kill you, the lung cancer will. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then a like is really appreciated. Be sure to subscribe for more Easter eggs and details from your favourite games. Thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon. Oh, and I know that some of you might be waiting for the overused video game Easter egg of the week. Well, this is a hidden details video and not an Easter egg video, so that's why it's not here.